Hello student, today I am going to discuss the topic EM algorithm. EM algorithm is denoted as expectation maximization algorithm. I have written some points regarding EM algorithm. Let us discuss the EM algorithm. First, EM algorithm can be used for the latent variables. Latent variables means the variable that are not directly observable and are actually inferred from the values of other observed variable. It means latent variables means the variable that are not directly observable and it is inferred from the other observed variables. Second, this algorithm is actually at the base of many unsupervised clustering algorithm in the field of machine learning. It means this algorithm is used in unsupervised clustering method. Third, it is used to find the local maximum likelihood parameter of a statistical model in the case where latent variables are involved and data is missing or incomplete. It means this algorithm is used where the data is incomplete or data is missing. Let us take how EM algorithm works. The first step of EM algorithm is given a set of incomplete data, consider a set of starting parameter. So the set of incomplete data which is given is considered as a starting parameter of EM algorithm. Second step is expectation or E step. Using the observed available data of the data set, estimate or guess the value of the missing data. In the EM algorithm, the second step is E step. It means the data from the available observed data, we have to find or guess the value of the missing data. Third step is maximization step or M step. Complete data generated after the expectation step is used in order to update the parameter. It means the data which we get from the E step is used in order to update the parameters. Step 4 is repeat 2 and 3 until convergence. The basic diagram of each step is given as each step is used for update variable and M step is used for update hypothesis. In short, we can say that EM algorithm is work in two steps. First step is E step and second one step is M step. E step is used to estimate or guess the value of missing data. It is basically used to update variables. It means E step is used for guessing the value of missing data or the data which is incomplete or missing. Second step is M step. In this step, we can use the complete data generated in the preceding expectation steps in order to update the values of the parameter. It means it is basically used to update the hypothesis. So this is the EM algorithm, the concept of EM algorithm. Now let us explain the uses of EM algorithm. It means where EM algorithm use. First it can be used to fill the missing data in a sample. Second one is it can be used as the basis of unsupervised learning of cluster. Third, it can be used for the purpose of estimating the parameters of HMM. And fourth one is it can be used for discovering the values of latent variables. These are the application of EM algorithm which I have discussed. Now I am going to explain the advantage of EM algorithm. The first advantage is it is always guaranteed that likelihood will increase with each iterations. This is the most important advantage of EM algorithm. It is always guaranteed that the likelihood functions will increase with each iterations. Second, the E and M steps are often pretty easy for many problems in terms of implementation. In terms of implementation, EM algorithm is very easy. Now again I am going to discuss some disadvantage of EM algorithm. First disadvantage, it has slow convergence. Second disadvantage is it makes convergence to the local optima only. And third disadvantage is it requires both probability, that is forward and backward. So in this video I have discussed the concept of EM algorithm, applications of EM algorithm, the algorithm of EM algorithm, advantage and disadvantage of EM algorithm. Let us take an example and explain how EM algorithm is used in this example. Assume we have two coins that is denoted as C1 and C2. C1 coins having probability of getting heads is theta1 and C2 coins having probability of getting heads, that is theta2. It means the probability of head getting the coin C1 is equal to theta1 and the probability of head getting the coin C2 is given as theta2. We want to find theta1, theta2 by performing a number of trials, that is coin toss. Let us take an first experiment. We have choose 5 times one of the coins and we toss the chosen coin 10 times and it is given as in first attempt we toss the coin 2 denoted as C2 is denoted as B and the probability of getting head is given as H T T T H H T H T H, and in the second attempt we toss the coin 1 which is denoted as A and the pattern which we get as H H H H T H H H H H. Again we toss the coins C1 and the pattern is H T H H H H H T H H. Again we toss the coin C2 and the pattern is denoted as B and the patterns are H T H T T T H H T T. And the last time we toss the coin C1 denoted as A, and the pattern are T H H H T H H H T H. In this example, we already know the labeling and we already know which is coin A and which is coin B. The probability of getting head using a coin C1 is given as number of heads using C1 divided by total number of flips using C1. If we want to calculate the probability of theta 1 using coin C1, let us take this pattern. So number of heads using C1 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9. Total number of flips using C1 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hence theta 1 is equal to 9 by 10. So we draw a table for coin A as well as for coin B. Hence the probability of theta 1 is equal to 24 let us draw a table for coin A and coin B. In the first attempt we toss a coin B, that is coin C2. The probability of getting head is 5 and the probability of getting tail is 5. In the second attempt we toss a coin A and the probability of getting head is 9 and the probability of getting tail is only 1. In the third attempt we again toss the coin A and the probability of getting head is 8. Here probability of getting head is 8 and probability of getting tail is 2. In the fourth attempt we toss a coin B and the probability of getting head is 4 and the probability of getting tail is 6. And in the fifth attempt we toss the coin A and the probability of getting head is 7 and the probability of getting tail is T. So from the given table we can calculate the probability of getting head, total number of probability getting head and total number of probability getting tail against coin A or against coin B. So from this table we can say that the probability of getting head is 24 or summation of these head, and the probability of getting tail is 60. So we can calculate the probability of theta 1 is equal to 24 divided by 24 plus 6. 24 is number of heads using a coin A and 6 is number of tails using a coin A. So the probability of theta here, the probability of theta 1 is equal to 24 by 30, that is 0.8. Same as we can calculate the probability of theta 2. Theta 2 is a probability of theta 2 is a probability of coin B. So for again this table we can calculate the number of heads and number of tails. The number of heads against coin B is 9 heads and number of tails against coin B is 11. So we can calculate the probability of theta 2, that is number of heads using C2, that is 9, Divide by total number of flips using C2. Total number of flips is 9 for heads and 11 for tails. That is 0.45 using the above formula. So let us assume a more challenging problem where we don't know the identities of the coins used for each set of toss and we treat them as hidden variable. In the previous example, we know the identity of the coins. It means we know the labeling of the coins. That is, first we toss the coin 2. Again, in the next step, we toss the coin first. In third, again coin 1. In fourth, coin B, we toss coin 2, and in the last we tossed coin 1. But in this example, we don't know the identities of the coin used for each set of toss. Either in the first step we toss coin 1 or coin B or toss coin B. We don't know which coin has tossed. So this is the most challenging problem of machine learning. The probability against the pattern is same as the previous example. That is head, tail, 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 head, head, tail, head, tail, head. Let us assume for this example, let us assume first coin is having probability of head, that is theta is equal to 0.6, that is 60%. We assume the probability of head using a coin A is 0.6. We can assume any value, and theta B is 0.5, that is 50%. So in the first round, the number of head is 5 and number of tails is 5. We can see in the first round the number of head is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and the number of tails is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So in the first round number of head is 5 and tails is number of tails is 5. Compute likelihood using binomial distribution. The formula for calculating the likelihood using binomial distribution is given as pk is equal to theta k multiplied by 1 minus theta की power n minus k, where n is total number of toss, k is total number of getting heads in that toss. So the likelihood of A is equal to theta k. It means probability of A getting head, that is 0.6 की power k. K is number of getting heads, that is in the first round number of heads is 5, so is equal to 0.6 की power 5 multiplied by 1 minus 0.6 की power 10. 10 here n is 10 and k is 5 power 10 minus 5, that is 0.000796264. And again using the same formula for coin B, theta B is equal to 0.5 की power 5, that is the probability of theta B is equal to 0.5. From here we assume the probability of theta for B is 0.5, so put the value of theta B as 0.5 की power k is 5 multiplied by 1 minus 0.5 की power 10 minus 5, that is 0.000796264. 0.0009765625. Here we assume the value of theta A as 0.6, that is 60%, or theta B as 0.5%. We can assume any value. So normalize by using a formula A upon A plus B is equal to put the value of theta A, that is 0.0007962624, divided by A plus B, that is 0.0007962624 plus 0.000976565, that is equal to 0.45. For B, using the same formula, that is B by B A plus B, the value we will get is 0.55. Now estimate V using this value, we estimate likely number of heads and tails for first toss. For A, likely number of heads is equal to 0.45 multiplied by 5. 0.45 is a value which we get, and 5 is number of heads in the first round, is equal to 2.2. Again, for tail, the value is 0.45 multiplied by 0.5, that is 2.2. Same procedure we will follow for B. The number of heads is equal to 0.55 multiplied by 5. 0.55 is value which we get for B, that is 0.55 multiplied by 5. 5 is number of heads, is equal to 2.8, and T is 0.55 multiplied by 5, that is 2.8. For second round, number of head is, from the given example, number for second round number of head is, here number of head is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, and number of tails is only 1. So for second round number of heads is 9 and number of tails is 1. Again, for second round, compute likelihood using binomial distribution. Pk is equal to theta k multiplied by 1 minus theta n minus k. Here the value of theta is, here the value of theta is for A is 0.6 and the value of theta for B is 0.5. Put the value of theta A as 0.6. The likelihood of A is equal to 0.6 multiplied by 9 multiplied 0.6 की power 9 multiplied by 1 minus 0.6 की power 10 minus 9. Here 9 is number of heads. So the likelihood of A is equal to 0.0040310,784. Again, likelihood of B is equal to 0.5. 0.5 is the value of theta B and 9 is number of heads. That is 0.5 की power 9 multiplied by 1 minus 0.5 की power 10 minus 9. That is 0.000976565. Using the same formula, normalize by using A upon A plus B is equal to 0.0040310,784. The value of A, the value of A which we will get from second round, that is 0.0040310,784 divided by 0.0040310,784 plus 0.000976565 that is 0.80. For B, using the same formula, for B the value is 0.2. Again, estimate likelihood number of heads and tails for second toss. For A, number of head is 0.8. 0.8 is the value which we get from the above computations, and 9 is number of heads, that is 7.2, and number of tails for A is equal to 0.8 into 1, because here number of tails for second round is 1, so number of tails is equal to probability of number of tails is equal to 0.8. For B number of head is 0.2 multiplied by 9 is equal to 1.8, and for tail that is 0.2 multiplied by 1 is equal to 0.2. Repeat this process for all the 5 times of the coin. It means this whole process is repeated for all these pattern. So the table, we get a table for coin A and coin B as, for coin A in first round the probability of number of head is 2.2 and probability of tails is 2.2. In the second round probability of head is 7.2, probability of tails is 0.8. In the third round probability of head is 5.9 and probability of tail is 1.5. In the fourth round probability of head is 1.4, probability of tail is 2.1. In the fifth round probability of head is 4.5 and probability of tail is 1.9. Same as for coin B, in the first round probability of head is 2.8 and probability of tail is 2.8. In the second round probability of head is 1.8 and probability of tail is 0.2. In the third round probability of head is 2.1 and probability of tail is 0.5. In the fourth round probability of head is 2.6 and probability of tail is 3.9. In the fifth round probability of head is 2.5 and probability of tail is 1.5. Total number of heads, count the total number of heads or total number of tails for coin A as well as coin B. So the total number of heads for coin A is 21.3, that is the summation of all the heads, and total number of heads is 8.6, summation of all the tails for coin A. Follow the same procedure for coin B. Total number of head is 11.7, that is the sum of all the heads, and total number of tail is 8.4, that is sum of all the tails. Calculate the value of theta A, that is total number of heads using the above formula, number of heads using C1 upon total number of flips using C1. So theta A is equal to total number of heads using coin A, that is 1.3, divided by total number of flips using coin A, that is 21.3 plus 8.6. 8.6 is number of probability of tails, that is 0.72%. Same as theta, follow the same formula. Theta B is equal to number of heads using a coin B, that is 11.7, divided by number of head, total number of flips using coin B, that is 11.7 plus 8.4, that is 0.58. Update the value of theta A is equal to 0.71 and theta B is equal to 0.58, and start the same process from first round. It means we assume theta A as 0.6 and theta B as 0.5, but we get the value theta A as 0.72 and theta B as 0.5. So we update the value of theta A as 0.72 and theta B as 0.58 and repeat the same process and repeat the same process and start from the first round. This process did not stop until the constant value or same value of theta. This process did not stop until we get the constant value of theta or same value of theta for every time. Using the above explanation, the value of theta at which the process stop is theta A is equal to 0.8 and theta B is equal to 0.52. That is the answer of this questions. So in this video I have explained the EM algorithm, how EM algorithm works on a given problem. Thank you.